Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hate It or Love It. I am your host for today, Jeremiah the Revelist. So today I am going to be reviewing Toy Story 4. So Toy Story 4, oh man, I really enjoyed this movie. I mean, I've been a big fan of Toy Story. I think Toy Story is one of my favorite Pixar films because Pixar made a movie about your childhood, especially with the toys. Like, we grew up with these toys. We knew about these toys. We had so much fun when we were kids playing with these toys. And to have all these situations happen feels like, yo, this is how we used to be when we were kids, you know? So it really bring out that childhood moment. Like, every time I'm sitting here watching this movie, I felt like, man, this is how I felt like when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? You know, thinking my toys are alive, you know, having these crazy adventures and everything. So it really always brought that to home, especially with Toy Story 3. I thought Toy Story 3 was a perfect ending, but I didn't really believe that Toy Story 4 was going to live up to that expectation. But it did. It had that fun. It had that, like, adventures of being a lost toy. It was like, it was so good. Especially Forky. Like, I thought Forky was, like, funny. he was cute. You know, Forky was a really cool character in this movie because, like, I remember when I was a kid, I used to make my own toys and stuff like that, and I used to think they were the most important things to me than my regular toys. Like, to have that, like, realization that you used to do this when you were a kid. You know what I'm saying? And it just bring all the fun. It was so much fun. You know, especially the toys itself, like, Woody, even Gabby, like, they were relatable. You felt like what they are going through because you could relate to that. Like, sometimes I could relate to Woody, like the stuff that he's going through in the movie. Like, I could kind of relate to it in a way of in my adulthood, So, you could relate to these characters. You know what I mean? That's why when you look at Gabby, you think, oh, she's the villain. But at the same time, she's not really the villain because you understand the things that she's going through. You understand the things that she has, that she just wants to be played with. She wants to have an owner, you know, and you feel that. And then when you see that, you feel her pain. You feel what she's going through. So you have that feeling for these toys. Like, that's what makes Pixar so great. Like, they take a lot of things from people's childhood and they make it into movies that is relatable to your childhood. So I gotta say, this movie was a great movie. Like, I love Woody, I love Buzz, I love all the characters. Forky, I gotta say, he was so funny. They did have this, like, a little scary element for the little kids, like, the ventriloquist dummies. Every time I would look at them, I would think Night of the Living Dummy from the Goosebump novels and the Goosebump TV show, which was kind of funny to me. Key and Peele, like, they did a great job as playing the Birdie and the Rabbit. They did a real good job with that. They were really funny. Like, Bo Peep, she was a badass in this movie. She was straight up badass in this movie. I really love Bo Peep in this. Like, this movie was great. Like, even this rating I gave it, I gotta give it a love. I gotta give it a love. It was just so good. It was so funny. I have to give it that. It was just so good. I think, go out. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you have kids, take your kids to see it. It was a great movie. It was a great time. That's all I got. That's all I got. It was so good. So like, subscribe, let me know what you thought about Toy Story, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.